or the 311 and the 311. I would like to try seeing that if possible, we can get $7,000 added to that right there. What this line item covers here, it covers our yearly certification and maintenance of our SCBAs, our self-contained breathing apparatuses. One of the things with those is every 5 years, and we're getting ready to come up on the 5-year on ours from when we got the grant. All the bottles are going to have to be hydrostatic tested. So that's coming up for that. This line item also covers our cascade systems, which are the machines that we use to fill the air bottles with. Those every quarter, those have to be maintained, tested for the air quality that's going in, and then filters to be changed on them. It also covers our Hearst extrication tools getting certified every year, and it helps to replace my consumables. And when I mean consumables, like if a pair of gloves gets damaged on a call, a Nomex gets damaged in a fire or anything, that helps to repurchase that, so they have a piece of equipment that's safe for them. You want me to explain? Am I doing all right?
No, you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's been a couple of years since I've been to one, so I don't want to talk online or do anything like that.
No, you're doing good.
we could
All
watch
right,
it.
line 312 ESO. All right, ESO is a reporting system. We're required by the federal government to report all of our calls. That's fire and EMS. One of the things that happened a couple of years ago, and it's kind of been behind, but I've been working within the budget to pay it every year. This is actually we went up. Our EMS side on ESO works now what's real time. Everything that they do in an ambulance, the doctor can see at the hospital before we ever get there. What it also helps with is our billing company. We really stay up on having the hospital information integrated with our reporting, because if something happens with wrong insurance information, it's going to be correct by the time that report's done when that person's finished at the hospital, if that makes sense. So that went up $2,000 a couple of years ago. I kind of been rotating money to pay it every year, so I kind of need that to go up $2,000 to make that payment for that every year.
One time.
That's a one-time payment a year. That's what we pay a year to have that service. Let's see. I'm comfortable with the 363 line item for repairs and maintenance for equipment. I know we have some shortfalls coming. I try to do my best with what I can do. Going down to my other service charges under where we get to the 390s. The car and clothing allowance, as of July 1st, the State House passed the new statute for volunteer firemen. And as of July 1st, car and clothing allowance has gone up $250 as the minimum for the state of Indiana across the board. So I'm going to need an increase, and the 392 and the 393 line items there to cover the amount of people that we've put in. I'm comfortable with talking to my secretary who does my payroll for fire and everything, that $4,000 on each one of those should cover what we have put on. And to explain that further, we have our rules and regulations within the bylaws that we operate out of. They're required to answer 25% of the calls a year. If they do not answer the 25% calls a year, they do not get that. Okay, so you have some of the people who do make it, and you have the others. But again, with this amount of people coming on, and Our per man hour that I report is gone up from, 3 to 4. Now we're doing 8 to 10 on the per man hour per call. So that's starting to go up. So that's showing that's next year, coming into next year, on next year's budget, it's going to show that, I don't want to be in the hole on that and have to come for an additional
You
appropriation.
said 4,000 per.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, Councilwoman. And then, if you go down, line 394 IDFA dues, I'm looking at that line item right there to add 400 to that. That'll cover, again, the IDFA dues, Indiana Volunteer Firemen's Association dues for the members we put on. We were good this year, but, the people we have now that would start next year when they go on that roster, I forgot what it was per person that went up, but again, with my secretary, 400 on that $400 on that should cover our additional membership.
And where are you at? I mean, just curious, what are you?
I'm sorry, that's line the last three on that line, Councilwoman is 394.
Now you first see on that 394, I know it's gonna be less, but it's showing 1324.
Yeah, I don't like showing that,
Spent through June 30th.
Yeah, it's just through June, right?
yeah, that, hold on. Let me find. Actually, what I show, right now as of, 8/5 is there's 375 left in that.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And, there could be some stragglers we have on that, as well. So that could drop again by, October. That usually there's only maybe $75 left in it or something by the end of the year. And then last in fire is radio engineering. Okay, that one, with the age of our radios, from when we went on county, in 2000, let me start over. So our radios were purchased about 4 years, about three to 4 years before we ever went on the county dispatch. Okay. So all of our radios that we have right now, portable radios, our mobile radios we have are Motorola radios, and they're not what do you call that? They're not being, as the parts run out for these radios, you can't get it fixed no more. All right, so I'm looking to bump that up if we can to about $6,000 to cover some of these repairs if they could be repaired. But one of the things that we need to really look at is this radios is something we have to have. So fire is required to have a radio for every seating position we have on the grid. Everybody has to have a radio on fires, all right, for safety. If they're inside a fire or on another side of the building, something happens, they gotta be able to communicate quick with a radio. The price tag on that is very hefty to look at replacing all those radios, which has to be done here pretty soon. Some of the quotes I've got is anywhere from 450,000 to 700,000.
Wow.
So just so we're aware, on that.
Have we looked into maybe any grants that are out there, or?
So I kind of, so every year I try to put in for AFG grants for equipment. One of my main concerns right now is bunker gear. That is my biggest safety thing I have going on right now is bunker care. And when I look at what takes priority, I need people on the call to work, okay? I gotta have the bunker gear in order to outfit these guys so they can respond to a call and be able to work on the call first, so.
You're using grant dollars.
But
You're using the grant dollars towards the bunker.
yeah, if I'm getting ready to put a grant into AFG when the 2026 grant opens up, I'm working with a grant writer right now to pursue buying bunker gear off of the grant. I don't know how many sets I'll get, but it's something I'll for that. And then next year, if I'm successful, I'm getting a grant because they're very competitive and I get bunker gear, the 2027 grant, I can try doing a communications grant and see if I can get something there. Just so we're aware, because it's been a few years since I've sat in a budget meeting in that. So again, that will help, in the radio side, that will help me to, like if they can find parts out there, as they find parts for these, that they can fix them, a lot of, those are going up. So, I mean, we went on county dispatch in 2012, and I think the radios were bought in, I think 2008 or 9 is when the radios were purchased. Because we were on, I don't know if you guys remember that far back. We were on that, we're gonna do it this year type thing with county, and it drugged out, and then finally in 2012. They set a date and we were on it that quick, so those radios have been around for quite some time. Daniel, did I miss anything on?
So you're looking at about a $50,000 increase for the department, just inside the general fund,
That's another daddy.
based on those requests.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get this together so I can. I didn't see that on one, yeah, I see that on them. Okay, these were my 13. Those are my general fund providers. All right, going to the seated side, huh?
Looks like it might be page 18.
Okay.
You guys just.
I apologize, no, that's right.
Me neither.
But if you look at it, it'll be seated, at 4436 on the left side. Everybody.
Yeah, I have, it's gonna be, it's page 18. I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, I could bring it up on your phone. Tried it. Because she doesn't have 18, so you might not have it yet. I have the budget on my phone, so if you wanna bring it up on your phone.
Did it not print?
It's gonna be page 18.
I don't have a number.
Yeah, Dalton.
I need to find the number. It's all, okay.
That's the fund over here.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
You click on it.
Those are the numbers he was talking
Yeah, I got it on my phone right here.
about. It's like a. Good.
Yeah, but on my phone.
That make it easier. for you.
Don't sign. You know more?
Here, we got it. Just go off this, I use my phone.
No, wait, we don't do.
I got my phone, I'm good.
Oh,
I've been working on it. We're good.
Oh, my bad.
There you go. It's gonna be-
Sorry.
$19.
Okay. All right.
Okay, it's already.
We're ready?
Sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna skip over all the payroll stuff because that dictates bond raises and everything. I don't know what's going on with any of that, so that's outside of me and those decisions that are made there. I wanna go down to start on line 221 EMS ambulance supplies. Okay. I'm gonna need about 10 grand and look, I know CBIT is tax money and this is, we're gonna get hit on this, but within the CMS ambulance supplies, that covers our oxygen payments and it covers a lot of our consumables. Again, I apologize, I ain't been one of these in a few years, so as we go along for the past few years, a lot of the equipment that we have on the ambulance, we no longer get one for one from the hospital anymore when we use it. We're purchasing a lot of our stuff now when it comes to CPAP, for breathing issues, our monitored leads, all kinds of things. I don't want to waste time with everything we have to pay for out of that, but with oxygen in the past 3 years, the price of oxygen has just tremendously shot up. Okay. That is where that's based off of, or what we get reimbursed for oxygen is based off of what our billing ordinance is for ambulance. So I don't know if the council would like to maybe next year look at looking into the billing ordinance for ambulance and maybe increasing that even a little bit or something, because we do under Medicare, Medicaid, there has been some changes in mileage as well. What we can charge for mileage has increased to help bring some of that money back to us to offset some of the costs we're using for this, if I'm making sense with that. But right now with what we're doing, and again, here, I'll throw this curveball at you. One of the things I've been working on all year with Adrian is we now have to supply our own narcotics. Okay. So we've been working with the licensing with the state and DEA. And there's some things we had to do to the fire station, putting cameras in, a secured room for this and everything, because you're dealing with narcotics. That's gonna be costing us here pretty soon by next year, because we're gonna have to purchase those narcotics now. We cannot get those, that stuff will not no longer be placed through the pharmacies at the hospital anymore. We have to provide that from outside pharmacy provider. Feel I'm comfortable with. Any questions on that one?
No,
Not on that
sorry.
one, but I do have a question, like with the supplies for the EMTs. Where are we at with New Chicago? How much is it I mean, I know we're getting paid from them, obviously. Are we seeing that we are paying out more than what we are receiving? Now that we're paying for supplies, now that we're gonna be paying for
we are.
narcotics?
We are, when you look at our monthly billing cycle, so we went up, what was it end of last year? It was about the end of last year. On our billing, from what, when the billing company changed over. So we saw increases starting in our billing, because we had a billing company that got bought out by another company, and the company that bought them out does some things a little bit different. So we started seeing the increases, because the way our billing was getting done. It was getting done a little bit better. I guess I can say that because it is, all right. When I look at that per month, and Daniel gets this too, I don't see a substantial change in what we're collecting a month, that's going up even more, if that makes sense. So
So you feel like we're breaking even at this?
no, we're not even coming close to breaking even on that. It's not.
So you're telling me that it's much more.
Yeah, yes, yes, it was.
That was what I thought. So that's, yeah.
Yes. And when you look at, the scheme of things, what's gonna happen and what's going down, I'm sure Sue's gonna take a big hit. I'm not a financial guy, but I know what's getting ready to drop off in here and people are gonna lose. That's gonna be devastating over there.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, even for, I don't even remember what it was, what is it a year or the contract?
50.
50 a year, I don't even know how they're gonna afford that. And when you look at contract companies, they could be, and I've sat in those meetings before we took our ambulance back, because we had the problem with the Kurtz ambulance, if somebody remembered that.
That was a nightmare.
We're talking years ago, but that was, in Chris Anderson's administration, we had companies coming in here outside of the Kurtz. They were 375,000, 400,000 to just put one ambulance in here. That's only one. All right. So you look at that, you look how that price has gone up every year. It goes up probably what, 3% more
Every year.
I know, like, I do hear horror stories on some of the stuff with some of the contract ambulances on how they bill out and what it costs there, okay? And, look, Lake Station had to do what it had to do when it brought its the ambulance in, and I think we're at a good place where we are with our bill, okay? I don't see a reason to bump that up because I just don't see,
Yeah.
if I'm saying it right, I feel we're doing good, but I don't think bumping it up is gonna make up for what our losses are.
Right.
You're never gonna get 100% of what you have coming to you. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, we were on supplies, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm comfortable with my fuel right now. Let me see, hold on. Let me make 100% sure. I do have this where I'm at on fuel. Yeah, I'm still good on fuel, so I'm comfortable with my fuel, right now. I don't see any issues with that. The fire supply, that strike. We need to talk about strike. So I want to approach this with the strike.
Is this where you pay that from?
That, no, I actually paid the strike, sorry, sidebar, the financial guy. Real quick, hold on, let me get my bearing on the thing. Because I'm not looking at this. Where did we pay this? Yeah, it was paid from the fire supply, I think is where that comes from. Where they keep.
224.
Yeah, so the 224, can we just change that to, keep that in there, but, maybe add to that, striker or.
For the quick contract?
So I have so we're required to contract for our cots and our, monitors and things like that. To be certified every year. And it's a maintenance program with them. So if something happens to the cot, they come in, they replace it. We don't pay for anything that breaks on it. It gets certified. They cover everything all the way down to the batteries because we have, if you guys see, we got the power loads. Power loading cots, they're mechanical to go up and down. So, we have a contract with them, and that's, that contract right now that we're on is, little over 11,000 a year. I mean, it's a 3-year contract. So we pay it every year. The problem I had was when we did the contract, there was nowhere. This was not worded right, I guess I could say. Is that right?
We didn't budget for it.
We didn't budget for it. Okay, it didn't get budgeted on last year's budget, right? Yeah, it didn't get budgeted on last year's budget. Okay. I had to pay because we have to have this done to legally protect us so we don't get sued if something happens to the college. So, I don't know what the council wants to do. What do you think?
I would recommend creating a contract line under best services and charges. Because it's not technically a supply, it's a contract. And
Put it in there,
that's my request.
show us, and when you
I guess that's what I was
just
looking.
send it updated with that on it, right?
I will.
Now, how did you pay it for the last year's?
Uh,
We didn't appropriate anything for that.
we didn't, but, I, worked with Daniel and we discussed it,
They have a repairs and maintenance line. Item.
yeah.
So we paid it out of that line item.
But they like to have their own dedicated line item.
Sure.
Yeah.
And how much on that line item?
It's, I apologize, I'd have to pull my contract, I didn't bring it with me, it's like 11,300 and something, I think. I can have that to you in an email or.
That's, but yeah, that's.
I'll bring the if you wanna see the contract.
Yeah, and the line, I mean, you said you guys took it out of another line item for it. So that line item, then that means that money will be there for next year. All right,
The one we paid it from was not tinkered with. We just left the budget alone because I had enough appropriations to cover that contract. payment.
Okay.
We made no assumption for 2027 to change it. So there would be no
I
increase.
misunderstood that because I thought they took it from somewhere else to pay for it for this year. Because we didn't have that specified. That's why you guys want to add a different line item just for that.
Yes, that's right.
So that's why I'm asking where they come from,
Yes, it came from a different line item.
which line item.
The repairs and maintenance.
So that means for 27, then that should have that funds for that, because you won't be, you're asking for a different.
Yeah,
line.
if, I know what you're saying, if it's appropriate, if the 11,400 or whatever that number is I give to you is in there for contract, that means that the line item that we took it out of, we're not gonna take it out of that line item next year, so that.
So they'll have it in there,
It'll be in the line item where it was taken from.
and that came out of the supplies, you said,
Maintenance.
or maintenance, I mean?
Should be 342.
Okay. What did you call that again? Those are word it was.
It's a striker
Stryker?
contract is what, it's the company, we use that's the equipment we purchased and we stayed with when we, their equipment is top notch worldwide, so
Yes.
they have very good equipment.
Maintenance and equipment.
And that covers our Lucases, which are our automatic chest compression machines we have, our power cots, our power loads, and our light pack 15s, our defibrillator monitors. And they cover, but we don't pay anything outside of that contract for repairs. It's all covered in it. Which is a good thing.
Right.
And your batteries are expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, well, okay. So, all right, I'm gonna, other insurance. What's other insurance? I don't have that, all insurance covered.
That's for risk and liability,
Okay,
which every department and most major funds pay for.
All right, I never pay attention to it because I don't use it. Okay. EMS billing services, 341. So, we have a billing company and our billing company collects for us and we pay a percentage of what they collect for the month. We also have an attorney that we use, out of Maryville for our collections, all right? With that being said, when I talked about the increases of what we're bringing in a month now, that number's gone up from what they collect to what we pay them back. So, right, just to tell you where I'm at right now. And it's okay. Right now, I have, as of 8/5, I have $10,003 left in that. I'm possibly gonna be in the hole by November on that because I'm averaging anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 a month. I'm gonna pay back to them for their services. And that's not including if I get big, if I get big collections back from the attorney, I have to pay them a percentage on what they bring back as well. So I'm looking that we might have to bump that up at least $8,000 more. To cover us for holding for all of 2027.
That's 341.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a minute. Yeah, 341. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then on that repairs and maintenance line item, 342, if I could get a $5,000 increase in that. I think that would help us out a bit on some of the, some of the more.
But that's also the line item that you took to cover the striker contract, which was, you say 11,000?
Mhm.
So you want to bump it up 5, but you'll have 11,000 next year. That if we do a separate line item for that, striker.
What's that?
That's true. Yeah.
What's that? I'm missing something here. What did I?
Why would we increase the repairs line if your expenses would be deferred?
Because you won't be paying that striker, is that what it's called?
Right.
Striker out of it, like you did this year.
Okay, no, all right, I see what you're saying. All right, never mind. Never mind.
Disregard that one.
I'm sorry. I forgot about that one. Sorry. All right. Think I'm done.
Well, I had a question. Yeah,
400 series? Yeah. What do you want?
Did you all receive that one pager annual lease payment schedule that I shared on Monday?
yeah,
Okay.
I've seen that.
I budgeted directly to that schedule. It just shows all of the fire chief's outstanding leases and what the annual payments are.
We had a question, but at the last budget meeting about that new ambulance 2026, where next year be payment, you said that wasn't locked in. It was
It's
a thought, maybe we're gonna call it.
currently not been approved. So I removed it from the budget proposal.
Okay, I want to make, because I still have done it, so. All right. That's all, I guess, on that one. I'm Chuck, just curious, how many ambulances do we have now?
I have 5.
5? Okay.
Okay, and let me explain why I got 5. One, because let me just explain. So, when Chris was mayor, we bought an ambulance.
And we had an old
back,
one.
the backup Kurtz, and then within a few months of buying that, Kurtz went out. Okay. As we brought the ambulance back, we ended up purchasing. We had to do them. I don't know who remembers this.
Yeah, myself and Fred
You guys want to.
We were the ones involved that got it back in, right?
So we had to have meetings, we had to do emergency purchases, and that was 2019 is when we purchased the two, purchased the first one and got the second. And in that time frame, we had that, the one we purchased was, a backup. And then, we ended up getting, St. John gave us one, they were getting rid of it and donated it to the city, so I got a second backup. The thing is with the two ambulances you see that are sitting, those have never been remounted. So those boxes hold some value to be able to take the Crossroads or McQueen or a company like that and have that box taken off of there. And what they do is they put it on a new chassis, they redo the whole, repaint it, everything like that, fix all the stuff that's broken. That helps when you have to purchase an ambulance, if you have to replace an ambulance, because that cuts your cost tremendously doing a remount versus buying brand new.
Right.
What also helps is if you work with ambulance companies and they have demos, what's called demos. Those are ambulances that are built that come down the line that are not spoken for. And they put them out there for people to look at and blah, blah, blah. And you can buy it and there's a substantial saving in that element as well. When we purchased the first two ambulances, when you were counting, those were demos. That's why we got them at a very reasonable price when you purchased those. When you look at the aging of our equipment, three of our ambulances, our main line ambulances, the three of them are 2018 and 2019. So they're already at least 2 years over they're 2 years over what their normal replacement time should be. That's why when I say maintenance is going up, we're more and more major things are breaking on those. And just right now we have our mainline ambulances down. It's in the city garage. If the liquid suspension, it's a hydraulic suspension on it. If that can't be fixed, it's gonna have to go to Crossroads out in Millbury, Indiana. Well, McQueen now, they've been purchased by McQueen. That's about a $7,500 to $8,500 repair for them. So, that's one of the things I've been talking about with Daniel for the past, few years, is to try figuring out how to do a lease purchase on at least a demo ambulance or something. Because of what it's costing to repair and the breakdowns we're starting to see with our information. Thank you.
That's it in yours?
Any other questions?
No. A lot of writing, but
Huh?
said a lot of writing, but okay.
This.
What's your passion?
Good.
Oh, we do have,
Go ahead.
Councilwoman Williams. Did you?
No.
We do have a new engine come. So we did a lease purchase on an engine. Was that 2 years ago?
2 years.
2 years ago. And we were supposed to take delivery September of last year, but because of the supply chain issues with pumps and stuff like that, it got pushed off. So the projected time frame of that new engine come is December. So that's.
Isn't that the one they're already paying on, but we haven't gotten it yet?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Is that the 2023?
No, the 2023 is the KME, Councilwoman Sanders, that's the 2023, but that's the one we already have. The one that's on the gas, what is it, the 400, the one that was purchased is the Alexa, they got it in here, where's it at?
Alexis Pumper.
Yeah, the Alexis pumper, actually it's a rescue pumper is what it is. That's the one that will be delivered in December. Oh, there's something. I see it now. I grabbed the wrong Peter, so I apologize. But that's the one that will be delivered in December.
You told us, I think it was last September or something, that is postponed the coming until like March of this year or something like that, it's supposed to.
Yeah,
But we weren't even aware of it. Nobody told us we purchased one.
I apologize for that.
It didn't come before us at all. So that was like, we looked at each other like, what fire truck? We knew nothing about it. But then we see later that we're paying on it already. And I thought it was, like you said, this year, we hadn't heard anything.
There was a supply chain issue, so it got pushed back. It was, I think I want to say when I reported to you guys, they said second quarter of this year. And then they just reached out to me about 2 weeks ago and said December, they're projected to have that, completed. So
Should give us a
if anybody
discount.
would like to come with me here in about the next 2-3 weeks, I'm gonna be getting phone calls to go out there to make sure it's being built to what we expect, because that'll be the first fire engine this city's ever sat down with a company and spec to meet a need for what we needed for it. So our 2003 we bought because we needed an engine now, so we were lucky enough that Santa Claus delivered that on the doorstep of a fire service and nobody would take it, and it met some of the requirements we needed, and that's why we moved forward to purchase that one. And that helped us out a lot. So
Including this fire truck that we're paying on now, how many will we have altogether?
we'll have let's see, we'll have bear with me here because I'm only in one station now, so I got things crammed in there. It's hard to remember. So I'll have 2 pumpers and a ladder, but again, the Lexus pumper is a pumper rescue. That's replacing our old big rescue. We had the big, you guys have seen that one. That's replacing that. So that's dual purpose in a vehicle. So you'll have that. You have that that pumper. You have engine 4, which is a pumper. Then you have engine 2, which is the 2023, and then you got engine 5, which is 2002. That's my big rig for the west end of town that has the water on it, that carries 1,500 gallons of water. And then we have the ladder truck, and then we also have the medium rescue truck, and we have a reserve engine that's kept at the city garage, and we keep that reserve engine to help on our ISO range. So if an engine goes down, I can pull that engine, put it in service. So that's the one that's been on the news for in different towns because of memorandum of use, letting other towns borrow when they've been in extension, needed an engine to cover their town. So,
Okay,
and that's a decision. If we ever move forward to get another rig, my goal was when we bought the 2023, if I can still talk, if you're okay. When I bought the 2023, that was working with Daniel's dad, Steve, was to try to get the city to where we could be somewhat comfortable in what's called a 5-year lease purchase replacement program, to where every 5 years we could do another lease purchase to start getting rid of some of our older aging equipment, like our engine 5 and that engine 4 and things like that. That just betters us for our response and our coverage for the city is what it does in our ISO as we slow. So we took the Lexus, we took on what, 7 year?
And
10. We took the Lexus on a 10-year because of what it come in at, because again, COVID just shot prices up on everything. So for that engine to be 900 and some thousand was, that was our low end, because my other 3 quotes were anywhere from 1.3 to 1.4 million on replacing that. So that helps out to get that heavy rescue back in for us for what we amount of highway we cover and everything else. But that other engine we got that is the regular pumper that we have, that one at 5-year mark helps. So that if we move forward and we can, every 5 years, we should be able, like engine 4 or engine 5 could be replaced in 4 or 5 years, so we're upgrading that equipment. If that makes sense to you.
No, it does. You, Constable, have anything else?
Good. Thank you for respecting and coming and joining us tonight. We appreciate that very much.
Very much.
Yeah, that helps us a lot.
Yeah, so we can understand.
Yes.
Did I just make your blood pressure go up?
No, okay.
We will.
I know it's.
I said, we will. We'll make his blood pressure go up.
Call him.
I just felt bad because I communicate a lot with Daniel and it's hard for what you need, for what you're not gonna have here soon, and it's.
Do you know the last time that you've asked for an increase in your budget? Been a while.
You,
It's been a while because I've been here for a while, so it's been a
I
while.
didn't do what I tried to, because I know our financial situation, so you do the best you can do with what you have, you try to, but again, there's gonna come a time where
We have a lot of problems.
it's gonna be a lot of, I'm gonna be looking at a lot of.
So let's try to get ahead of the ball game.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
And
For sure.
EMS is completely funded by income taxes. So those are going to see some changes in 3 years from now.
Yeah, it's
Severe change.
gonna not be good. Scary times coming at us.
So I rattle Fire Chief's cage pretty often about his cash flows.
Then we're working on, hopefully. When budget's done, him and I can sit back down again and get, look at salary and changing some things around that cost us pretty bad over there. Then we can work around some of the issues we have on our payroll side.
Right.
With moving forward to go salary here, hopefully we can get it done by do something by next year. I think would save us some money when you look at the overtime that I have to pay out per the city's handbook because of the amount of holidays and things you get when you're when we work the EMS site's 24 on 48 off shifts, so it's really a different animal when you look at how the city handbook is done versus how we work.
Can always be changed.
Yeah. Yes, I understand that, and that's something I'm hoping to get with Nick Snow. I've had several discussions with him, and hopefully Daniel and I can meet at B-Dubs and have some wings and sit with him and move forward to alleviate some of the cost and overtime that kills us in that. And that's not a bad thing. I don't want nobody to get mad or think different that I'm taking from people, but my own people are the ones that are like, this is crazy. Okay, they know how fire full-time works, and we're not working within that realm. We know we're putting a lot out on the payroll side that kills us when it comes to what's happening. So it's so I'm clear, and I don't want nobody to think I'm taking anything away from anybody. We're not doing that, It's just when you look at any other fire department around here that's full time, they don't get 15 holidays a year. They do not get those double time and half. You don't do that.
Right.
You get shift differentials what you do. So
We're all ears if it's to be more efficient and help out. Most definitely, because a lot of stuff's not efficient right now, and it, and we've got to straight
our
up.
call we do too, and it's not because we took New Chicago on. When you look at my call on the increasing every year it does. I mean, I think
I hear you guys.
I was 3 months into this year, the beginning of the year, and I was already at 400 and some calls in 3 months. So that's, when you look at those types of calls, you're having that many calls. You're up there with your reporting fire departments and firehouse for annual call runs for not, well, 9 square mile area now with helping out, New Chicago. So we not only help them with the EMS side, we're also responded fire too. So there's another cost to me and within that budget on paying firemen. Okay, even though they get paid per call, they get paid per call from the time they go to the call and the time they finish it up. Is what they get paid for. But
So we're helping them out.
yeah, we're helping them out because there's times that the way their people work, they might not have somebody come to the station to get an engine. So we're helping to respond pretty much on what's called auto aid. Any call that they get called for, we're getting called for too.
I think a few council meetings ago, we saw you guys screaming that way, and then it was not too much longer, you were screaming back this way. So I mean, we know you guys are busy, and I live right here, so we hear you going out all the time,
And
so.
our mutual aid calls, which I report assist to other cities is what I report those at. If you look at those numbers this year, those are tripled from what they were last year. And that has a lot to do with manpower in other towns and things, but it also has to do with our storm patterns that have changed. I mean, MIT and University of Nebraska did a study and they're saying that tornado alley has shifted this way quite a bit. And,
Yeah.
we projecting what we have to look forward and, coming up. Having that ready to go and helping other towns, here. We went to Lake Village for the tornado. We were out there for, I think, 20 some hours with them. We responded to Maryville and we were over at Maryville for about a good 16 hours helping them out. And most recent one was Griffith. When Griffith got hit, we got phone.
Yeah. It's like a different world all of a sudden and stuff.
Yeah, it's. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out, Chuck.
You have to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Adjourn. Motion adjourned.
Aye.